controversial on his lack of calls going back to the Toronto series.
Just not getting the calls. I don't know why. I don't flop. Maybe that's why. It's frustrating a little bit, but because I'm such a dynamic driver, right? Like, I can't control that. So if I'm not going to call for me, I got to find a way to finish through that. But you know me, I'm never one to sit here and complain and whatever. But at some point in time, I feel like me getting to the basket's got to relate to something. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Cavs will be off tonight, resume the series with the Pistons tomorrow night in Detroit. Cavs dropping the opener last night, 111-101. Cavs rallied from 18 down, but then got outscored by the Pistons to close out the game 18-8. NBA playoffs continuing tonight. Conference semifinals in the East. Game 2 in New York. The Knicks playing host to Philadelphia. New York took the opener Monday night by winning by 39 points. Meanwhile, in the West, Game 2, Minnesota at San Antonio. The Timberwolves took the opener on the road Monday, 104-102. Guardians continue their series in Kansas City tonight as they take on the Royals. Guardians looking to snap a 3-game losing streak after falling last night 5-3. Joey Cantillo gets the start this evening for the Guards. He is 1-1, a 3.67 ERA. The Royals come to the contest with a 5-game winning streak. Browns continue their offseason workout program today in Berea, Phase 2, allowing the Browns to be on the field, doing individual and group drills. It's very nice. This week, it's a build-up to rookie minicamp. That gets underway on Friday. Can now find 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get the best content from our shows each and every weekday. That's 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas. Up next, time for Baskin and Phelps here on 92.3 The Fan.
The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima.
Hey, the elephant in the room is going to be if the Cavs are going to win this series, I do think this might have gone unnoticed by some, or they were so mad about Harden that they never wanted to see him again in the Cavs uniform. But you're going to need Harden to win this series and to make any kind of a run.
The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima. Weekday mornings starting at 6 a.m. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan. Talk sports with guys in the know.
It's embarrassing. I mean, are they not embarrassed?
It's time for Baskin and Phelps. Cleveland's Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Well, you didn't really think they'd sweep, did you? Did you think they'd be exposed? But did you think that there would be hope after game one? Because I certainly think there is. Welcome to Baskin and Phelps. Jeff Phelps, Andy Baskin.
Oh, good. You gave me the ball. I was concerned you were going to turn it over to me there for a second. Now I got it back. Okay, now we're good.
Rim shot?
Now we're good. That was my worst nightmare last night. It was my worst nightmare. And still, they had a chance late to come back in the game and win it and finish it. And they didn't do it. Man, can't take care of them. I'm so tired. If I want to watch this, I can go to Kane Park and go watch there. That's what I feel like. There's so many times I feel like I'm just watching playground basketball where they're just throwing it away. It's the playoffs. It's going to be physical. It's going to be tough. But, man, you got to take care of the basketball. And I must have said it 100 times yesterday, and look what happened last night. I really thought they were going to be able to come back after they were able to weather the storm early on in the game. The Pistons played really well, and they were like, and then they started eating away at that lead. They came back at the lead and then gave it away again. It's tough to watch a team that you think has the talent would just let it just kind of slip it away because you can't take care of the basketball.
The Pistons led the NBA in forcing turnovers during the regular season. This is no surprise. They're a really good defensive team. Cavaliers have been a little sloppy with the basketball in the postseason, so it really shouldn't surprise anybody. This is where this was headed. But you're going to have to clean it up in order to move along.
Yeah, if it shouldn't surprise anybody, then this thing's over in 4 games then.
Well, I don't think that's the case.
Well, but if you're saying that, the Cavaliers are a team that turns the ball over and the Pistons force turnovers, here we go again. Another 20 turnover
don't you think
night.
That's true, though?
That's what they are. But in the playoffs, you've got to be able to step it up. You got to be able to be a little bit better. You got to better take care of the ball. Man, there were so many times I watched last night. I'm like, are you serious? Okay, well, let's bring the ball. Oh, I stepped on the baseline. Are you kidding? I was like, what this is you are professional basketball players stepping on the baseline off an inbound. Come on. What are we doing? I think this team is better. I expect more out of them. And it's frustrating to watch. It's like starting a lawnmower. Keep pulling the cord, pull the cord, pull the cord, pull the cord. All of a sudden that nasty dust comes out of there, that smoke, and then finally you get it, and then you ran out of gas. That's what I watched last night. That's what I saw.
No wonder you have somebody mow your lawn.
That's true. Excellent person who's excellent at mowing the lawn. Yes. I was so excited when we actually had a decent sized lawn, and then all of a sudden I was like, do I really want to mow this?
It's fun. Yes, the turnovers were bad, and yes, the points off of turnovers were bad. That has to change. A couple of things about this game. First of all, here are the things that just shouldn't happen.
Okay.
Jared Allen got 3 early fouls, and this is a very underrated part of this game. I think it's not being talked about very much. Jarrett picked up 3 fouls in the first 5:58 of the basketball game. It was a 4-point game when he went out. So, it's going. He went out 17-3 Detroit run to take an 18-point lead in the first quarter. He came back in the second quarter, picked up another foul, and basically was not part of the game the rest of the way.
No, it sucked. It was hard to watch. 18 minutes he got. 18.
Is that Jarrett? Is that Kenny? I personally, and I believe Jarrett, after he left the game in the first quarter with the 3 fouls, made 1 of 2 shots and had 3 rebounds the rest of the game. So Jared Allen basically non-factor last night.
Thank you.
That's not good.
Thanks to the refs, but keep going. Yep.
Oh, maybe thanks to him. I mean, fouls are fouls, Andy.
I don't want to watch the Cavs, but I want to watch the Cavaliers play with their 5 best players on the floor.
Well, Andy, you're asking for a basic change in the way the game has been played forever.
I hate it.
I've always hated it. Don't blame that for what happened last night. The rules are you get 6 fouls.
I know.
You don't have to like them, but that was the rule, and that really cost the Cavs because your center, who just went for 22 and 19 in a Game 7, ended up playing 18 minutes and was a non-factor.
I got it.
Then don't get into foul trouble. And if you're the coach, then put him back in the floor and get him going again. And, he ended up with 4 fouls. He didn't pick up a foul in the entire second half, but he barely played and was very ineffective. So that's on Jarrett, and that's on Kenny Atkinson.
And the script. Yep, keep going.
So you've got to you got to figure that out. I said yesterday, I think in every game for the Cavs to win, either Jared Allen or Evan Mobley have to have a significant game, something like a 19-point, 12-rebound game, 22 and 12, something like that. Well, Jared had not much of anything. 2 points, 3 rebounds. Evan was underwhelming. He had 14 points, took 11 shots, had 9 rebounds. It's not a bad game. He had 5 assists, but it's not the type of game that I think you have to have.
It goes back to what you said yesterday, where we expect these guys to go out there and have 30-point nights all the time.
You expect them to be really top-notch players. And Jarrett was, Evan was solid last night, but that's not the type of game you need. One of those 2 guys, I think, has to go off and have a really good game for the Cavs to win.
Even if both of them just have a good game, it's a different game last night.
That's good enough.
I mean, you got 16 points from your big guys last night. That sucks.
And 14 from one of them.
You're not going to win like that.
Dean Wade was on the floor for 28 minutes. Dean's a 3-point shooter. Dean took 3 shots. If you're going to be on the floor for 28 minutes and you're a good shot, you have to take more than 3 shots. That's on Dean. That's on Kenny. It is. James Harden, turnovers, not great. He had 7. Was he awful? No. Was he good? No. He had 7 assists. 1 of 7 on threes. Was great at the free throw line. Got there a bunch. Donovan Mitchell, 9 of 19. Was he great? No. Was he bad? No. Was Max Strus great? Yeah. Max played his buns off.
He did.
That was the one guy last night who you thought, now that's what we're looking for. That's what you're looking for. And so Max, to me, was the only Cavalier last night who brought, to quote Tiger Woods, the A game. Everybody else, okay. And it's hard to not say that Harden and Mitchell were okay. Their point totals were solid. Their assist totals, James was fine. The turnovers, not good. They just didn't play a great game last night, Andy. That said, in that fourth quarter, when the Cavs are putting it together, and coming back in that basketball game. Remember, they were down by 18 in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And they trailed by at least 9 points until late in the third quarter. And then they eventually cut it to 3, and they tied the game with 5:28 to go. And at that point, I thought, what I thought was, I didn't necessarily think they were going to come back and win. But what I thought was, here's how the Cavaliers can win this series. Because Detroit looked very offensively challenged when the Cavaliers were down by a bunch and yet fighting back and coming back into this basketball game. And I thought Detroit had a real tough time scoring the ball and a real tough time getting things going, and they looked a little out of sync. However, with 5:28 left when it was tied at 93, Pistons had an 18-8 run to close out the game. And if you're looking for the most disappointing part of the entire game, that was it. You know, the Cavs weren't good early. Jared Allen foul trouble, blah, 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 blah. With 5:28 to go, it was a tie game. It was anybody's game.
It was. And I thought, okay, then maybe they're going to steal this one. That's where I was at that point. Because I was like, oh, you know, they played horrible. This hasn't looked good, but maybe the bounce back from the Toronto series is going to give them some energy here late, although you had to climb back up from 18 down. To get there, you're right there. And here's where I'm optimistic about going into the next one. You had 20 turnovers, and you gave up 31 points off of turnovers. Even if, let's just say you cut it to 15 turnovers, which is still not acceptable, maybe that's 10 less points. Now look at the scoreboard. Where are you at? 10 points. They just need to cut down the turnovers. Take care of the basketball. I on paper, I just think I look at the names on these lineups, and I'm like, man, the Cavs. This should be the Cavs. This should go 7. This should be good games.
You can't look at the names. I think what you have to look at is the fit of the Pistons. You know, I mentioned 2 guys from the Pistons to keep an eye on in this series, and they unfortunately didn't let me down last night. Asar Thompson only took 6 shots, but he was a factor in the game. He did a lot of everything, played some really good defense. And I said, watch out for Duncan Robinson because that guy can get it going, and he did. He had 19 points, made 5 of 8 threes. And if those guys are going to get you, you're probably not going to win a basketball game. You know, and they both played good basketball games. And that doesn't mean they put up huge numbers, but they combined for 30 points. You know, those 2 guys, Andy, combined for more points than Dean Wade, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen by a bunch. And that'll get you. Jalen Duren's just a physical young player, really athletic. He was good. That's going to be a matchup to watch. We'll see what happens in Game 2 if Jared Allen can stay out of foul trouble. But Duren's just a big physical guy, and those are the types of guys who have always given Jared Allen some trouble. And there was Tobias Harris with his typical type of solid game. He has scored 20 or more points in every playoff game. Or excuse me, I think it's the last 6 playoff games at least.
There were just so many little plays in that game last night, too, that made me think, like Thomas Bryant. Like, if Thomas Bryant's a bigger name, I think, when he goes up for the dunk, and you gonna tell me he didn't get fouled? Or if he was a bigger name in the game, that they wouldn't have called a foul in that aspect? Again, this isn't about the referees. But there is some, like, I don't know, playoff mystique to some of this stuff. And like Schroeder came up with some big buckets again last night too.
Yeah, but
early on I wasn't digging it, but I thought towards the end of the game,
you got a little fired up late. And
yeah,
I don't know that it
when
helped
they went on the
team.
run to tie things up, I thought, okay, this is what we're going to see. The other part of it that makes me optimistic is, I think we all know, you go to Detroit for Game 1 and Game 2, get one.
All you got to do is get one.
Get one.
Yep.
And so they had their first opportunity. It's almost like house money. Now, if you can go back and get the second one, now all of a sudden you've made this into a best of 5.
Right now, Cavs are 0 for 4 in road games in the postseason, but 4-0 at home. Obviously, they have to get one, and they're not going to win this series. Number to join us, 216-474-0092. The only guy I thought was good for the Cavs last night was Max Strus. Awful? If you're going to say they were awful, I think you're being a little too harsh and a little too reactionary.
Ugly.
Turnovers weren't good.
Yeah.
The turnovers weren't good. James Harden can't turn the ball over like he did. But I think there were things last night that if you're the Cavs, you think, yeah, okay, we had a chance in that one. And if we do this, we win game 2. What do you think? It's Baskin and Phelps here on The Fan.
Hey, friends, Ken Carmen here for Northeast Factory Direct.
Detroit's waiting until after the surgery before setting any kind of timetable for Scooble's return, though rumors are he'll likely be out the next 2 to 3 months. Want to catch highlights from The Fan from earlier today? Go over to 923thefan.com or favorite 923 The Fan on the Odyssey app for all today's headline segments. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 923 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
At the end of the day, they were the more aggressive team. That manifests itself in, them turning us over, the rebounding, obviously, and also the free throw disparity, right? You can say, well, I think halftime was 22-8, I think, in free throws. So usually the more aggressive team gets to the free throw line. So they definitely had that advantage.
It was Kenny Atkinson after game 1 last night. No, I don't think there's any question Pistons were the most aggressive team.
Yeah, they were aggressive last night.
They had the big first quarter with 37 points. After that, I thought at times they looked offensively challenged. And that's why if you're a Cavs fan today, you can think, all right, this can work. At least that's what I thought in the second half when the Cavs were digging into what was an 18-point lead at one point in the second quarter there. And getting all the way back and tying the game with just under 6 minutes to go at 93. Then somehow an 18-8 run to close it out for Detroit.
Take care of the basketball. I can't. Just take care of the basketball, and good things are going to happen. That's all. It's the playground ball. It's like, come on, really? Is that the pass you're going to make? Can we not? Let's have some kind of a game plan if we're going to try to bring it into the paint. Something. Maybe see something out of the corner of your eye.
Well, turnovers were a big topic of conversation after the game. Let's start with Kenny Atkinson.
Got to look at it. It's a team thing. It always kind of starts with our spacing. I think screening is another thing. They got elite defenders. We have to get them off our ball handlers. If they were stuck like glue to our ball handlers. So got to do a better job there. And then we got to win our spot too. They're taking off. They took us off our spot, especially in the first half, kind of riding off catches. And
Kenny not happy with that. And the one thing to remember here, Detroit's a good defensive team. We know that. Why? Their coach was our coach, and we know what he preached here. JB preached defense here. It wasn't his defensive ability as a coach that cost him his job here. It was the offensive play of the Cavaliers that cost JB his job. Yesterday, they forced turnovers like crazy, did a great job of it, and I think Kenny just laid it out really, really well. James Harden had 7 of those turnovers. Here's what he had to say about the subject.
You look within first, and you look at my turnovers, and a lot of them were just on me and nothing they did. So, which led to, I don't even know how many transition points they had, but it was way too many. And if I had to put my print on one thing on the game, that's the game right there. Like we talked about last year, you get a shot on glass, even half of that, and it's a different ball game. For me, I got to be better, and I will be better turning the basketball over, from turning the basketball over and getting shots up. And then it gives our defense a chance to get back and get set. I think we did it. Other than that, we played a pretty solid game.
Problem with James here in the postseason, Andy, is he's giving everybody who says James Harden isn't a good playoff player ammunition. Has he been a bad playoff player? No, I don't think so at all. But has he been that guy that he can be? No, I don't think he really has.
No.
And I think that's problematic, and that's something that the team is going to have to deal with. Now,
you can't look at the box score and say, I had 7 assists and 7 turnovers. I mean, it's like, I don't know what. As of
guys who handle the ball half turnovers, Cade Cunningham had 4 yesterday.
He leads the league in the playoffs with 37.
Yeah, it's a problem. There's no question about it. Donovan Mitchell has thoughts on it. Here's what Donovan had to say about the massive number of turnovers.
I think it's just attention to detail. We got to be sharp, and we just weren't. With that being said, so many things that we can control. I think it's just a matter of just being sharp. There was some carryover in that regard, like you said, from last series, but we'll clean that up and move forward.
That's why I'm optimistic, because I do think they can clean it up. I do. Everything he said is 100% right.
Okay.
100% right.
Problem, though.
What?
Now it's happened against 2 different teams.
Attention to detail. Like, it wasn't great defense that made you step on the baseline on a turnover later in the game yesterday. That's not defense. That's not great defense.
That stuff unfortunately happens.
It's attention to detail when you're in the playoffs. It can't happen. And if it does, you get the result that you had last night. We can say, oh, it's part of the game. It doesn't have to be a part of the game. Championship teams aren't going to turn around. Yeah, well, we lost because I stepped out of bounds. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, shucks. Bummer. You got to be better than that. You're a playoff team, and you're the highest payroll in the NBA. Come on.
We had a Keon Ellis sighting last night. It was good to see. Keon came off the bench, played basically 11 minutes, 1 of 4. He didn't have huge contributions, but as the defensive player we know he can be, and a 3-and-D type of guy, as they like to label guys, he could play a role in the series moving forward. Here's what he had to say about all the turnovers and everything else.
I think we shot ourselves in the foot. I think we know that. That first quarter, they got out to a good lead. Won every quarter after that, fought our way back. They're a good team, and, you give them a lead like that at the first quarter, they'll run with it. I mean, we had a lot of turnovers, too, and they're a good transition team. So they did that well tonight and try to be better next game. Yeah,
they were good in transition.
Yeah.
There's no question. They got out and about. Keon was inaccurate. The Pistons did win the fourth quarter. But, they had such a big lead after one, 16-point lead after one, 18-point lead in that first quarter. And Cavs were just fighting all game long. Never got the lead back.
Got outscored on fast break points 15-6. So talk about getting out.
Well, that's what turnovers do. They lead to fast breaks.
Yeah.
Jeff's in North Olmsted. Jeff, welcome. Jeff, you're calling in early. We like it this week.
Oh, my goodness. So I found myself yesterday getting up from the TV like I did at my daughter's AAU games when it's just frustrating basketball play, turnovers, lack of getting back on defense. How is it a professional, are we turning the ball over when we have numbers on a fast break? We've got guys coming from behind us, poking the ball away. Like twice it happened with Harden yesterday where they just came from behind and poked the ball out. And it's like, he throws his hands up in the air. No, you're not getting a call because it wasn't a foul. Get back on defense. Then the half court where he had the turnover at half court. Now, I'm not going to sit here and knock James because we need him to win this series. Here's the thing that's extremely frustrating for me is you look at the minutes, like Jared Allen yesterday, right? The 3 fouls. I get that happened in the first half, but why is he not playing max minutes in the second half? He's not our superstar. If he gets fouled out, he gets fouled out. We already didn't have him for the first half, and you're getting beat up in the paint. You need to take a page from Orlando's blueprint on how to stop Jalen Duren because they did a good job of that in that series. They at least slowed him down. Something has got to change in the paint because every time, even yesterday, there were multiple occurrences where we're getting the ball in the paint, and instead of going up because we saw Jalen Duren standing there, it's like they're scared of him. That's what I think people are talking about when they bring up being soft, and it's that narrative. Like you're afraid to go at a player. Use a pump fake, get him in the air, draw some fouls. They were just letting him dictate the game yesterday, and they have to figure out a way to minimize that as much as possible. I think that yesterday, although we played as bad as we did, we still had a chance to win the game. And that should be thought of as a positive for the rest of this series. We will play better, but they've got to figure out how to clean up these turnovers because it's actually gross basketball to watch right now. And this is in the playoffs of all things.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Can I throw an opinion out?
Sure, it's your job.
I don't think they played that poorly. They had a lot of turnovers, and they fell behind after Jared Allen went out of the game, and then spent the rest of the game getting right back into it and had a chance to win one on the road. I mean, honestly, the third quarter run and the fourth quarter stretch, I sat there and I watched and I thought, yep, and this is how the Cavs can win this series. And nothing I saw yesterday changed my thought. I picked the Pistons in 6. And I just thought, yep, this is how the Cavs can win this series. Detroit has some offensive challenges.
Can you say they played poorly in the first quarter?
They played poorly after Jared Allen went out of the game.
Okay.
So that's a big chunk of it was a 4-point game in the first 6 minutes.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with anybody that thinks that they played poorly last night. That's why I'm just trying to figure out.
No, I'm not arguing with them either.
Okay.
But it's just, okay, well, it's the playoffs. Teams are going to be good. Teams are going to not play as well.
Sure.
I was not impressed with what the Cavs did last night by any means. But I also sat there and watched, and I thought, well, here's how they can win. don't have a lull where you get outscored 17-4. Your big man can't pick up 3 early fouls. You can't turn the ball over. It's that simple. You clear up those 3 things, and you're going to win some basketball games in this series. And it's not outrageous to think. I mean, don't turn it over as much.
Clean it up.
Have your big man on the floor.
Yeah.
Done. Keaton's in Cleveland. Hello, Keaton.
Hey, Keaton.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Well,
I had a question for you guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Does Kenny Atkinson, do we know, does he have back problems? Like, does he have something wrong with his back? Because I am just getting to a point where I'm so sick and tired when I watch a Cavs game. All he does is sit on the bench. He's not standing up. He's not working the refs. I mean, you see the fouls differential, and I get it. Fouls are fouls, but there's an art to trying to work a ref to get it in your favor, and I just feel like all he does is sit on the bench, and I just think the team responds to that. He just seems like he's relaxed, and I'm just getting so sick of him just sitting on that bench.
I'm sorry. Kevin Stefanski's now in Atlanta, Keaton.
I get it. It just, there's something about like a heated coach. Like, I mean, you look at college basketball. I get it's completely different. Honestly, the regular season, if he wants to sit for 82 games, fine, whatever. It's a long season. But there's an art to, like, working the refs. And, I mean, listen, J.B. Bickerstaff, he stands over there with his arms crossed for 90% of the game. But, like, there's something about it. It just feels like there's no intensity coming from our bench and just like, oh, well, whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
All right, Keaton, let me give you a different opinion on that. Probably the greatest college basketball coach of all time was John Wooden, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
He built the powerhouses with the Bruins in the 60s. Kareem, Lou Alcindor at the time, Bill Walton, Swen Nader. He had great centers. He had great guards. They just won. They dominated. He used to sit on the bench. He had his little papers in a little folder type thing, and he sat there. And somebody said, "Why do you just sit there in the games?" And his line was, "Well, if I have to get up and yell and scream and coach all game, then I didn't do a very good job getting my team ready to play." His thought was, we do all that in practice, now go play. And maybe that's Kenny's philosophy. Maybe it's not. I have no idea. Kenny had a long basketball career playing in Europe. Those floors aren't very good. Ask Danny Ferry's niece. So maybe that was part of it. I have no idea. But I don't need a coach to yell and scream and work refs and be all over the place to be a good coach. It didn't seem to be a problem last year, Andy, when they won 64 games.
No. I've heard that multiple times today. Like, I don't care if Kenny's sitting or standing. It doesn't bother me. I mean, look, he's got to get up to, ask for a challenge. Probably get up to call timeouts, maybe to talk to one of his own players. The body language of a coach sitting on the bench, it's like Kevin, like you were saying, Kevin got ripped for putting the plate sheet in front of his mouth. What? So maybe someone can't see him actually call the plays? That's silly.
216-474-0092 is the number to join us. Did the big guys, more than the guards, cost the Cavs this game? Next on Baskin and Phelps.
Hey, everybody, Andy Baskin.
Listen to The Fan Rewind, weeknights 11 to midnight. All the best segments from all our shows. You can always listen on the Odyssey app. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough on him with the rhythm and everything. You don't get to play that long. And, I mean, he's a big asset to our team. He definitely helps on the boards and defending as well. It's tough, but things like that happen and we've got to adjust.
That's the soft-spoken Evan Mobley on Jared Allen picking up the 3 fouls early on. And after picking up 3 fouls, okay, that's not good. It happens. Oftentimes you'll see a coach take a guy out after 2 fouls, Andy, just to make sure you don't pick up that third right away.
Yep.
Well, Jarrett did. And from that point on, he was basically a non-factor in the game. And that's on Jarrett. That's on Kenny. That's on everybody. Kenny didn't seem to get him reinserted in there. He played the second half, the entire second half with 4 fouls, didn't pick up any more. But it clearly didn't work. And it did not help the Cavaliers in their loss last night to the Pistons. The issue there becomes Jalen Duren, who's a physical, young, aggressive player, and he was good last night. He wasn't outrageous. He had a nice, quiet 11 and 12 double-double.
Your definition of good to me is annoying. He was annoying. He was annoying.
My definition is annoying, or he was annoying?
Your definition
I know
of good,
I'm annoying.
Yeah,
but
that's true. But no, when you say he's good, that's equal to, if you're a Cavs fan, that's annoying. He was annoying last night.
Yeah, but he was solid inside. He's just a good young player.
Yeah, he was annoying.
That's the one
12
thing
rebounds.
about.
Like every time I turned around, I was like, "Oh, he got another rebound."
Yeah, he was really solid, and he had 7 offensive rebounds. Cavs did not do a good job, offensive rebounds, keeping them off the glass. So that's not good.
You know what though? As the game progressed into the second half, I thought they did a good job of maintaining possession on missed shots. I thought it was a little bit better than I think even like Toronto regular season. I felt like, okay, they were extending plays yesterday.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's just you got to find the fifth gear at the end to win the game.
The one thing to remember here, we can look at all the turnovers. You can look at being down by 18. You can look at any factor from this game. You emerge from game one, and there's only one thing that matters, Andy, and that's one.
Correct.
You lost one game, and the Pistons need to win 3 more, and the Cavs need to win 4 of the next 6. And honestly, that last night's game did not leave me with the impression that the Cavs can't win this series. Didn't.
Again, you forget about game one if you can just win game 2.
Sure.
It's that easy.
It's done.
Not that hard.
Yeah, it's done. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Thomas leaving the building.
Oh, goodbye, Jeff Thomas. See you. He can't hear us.
Leaving the building. Clearly, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen need to be better individually and combined. Again, this stat is one that I've had NBA players say to me, so in other words, you were on the floor at the right time.
Plus minus?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite, though.
Coaches like that stat a lot. Evan Mobley yesterday had the worst plus minus in the game of anybody. When Evan was on the floor, the Cavs were outscored by 18 points. Now, is that really a complete indictment of Evan? Or is that what I hear from NBA guys? Yep, you were on the floor at the wrong time. Probably a little bit of both. The only guy who had a plus for the Cavaliers in the starting 5, Jared Allen.
Of course, because he only played 18 minutes. No, Tyson was plus 9, Jeff.
I said in the starting lineup.
Oh, in the starting lineup, sorry.
Yep. The big guys have to be better.
You got to let it go.
They're gonna have to. I honestly think do what I said yesterday. Somebody go and get 19 and 12. That's a good solid game for a big guy. Terrific. That's outstanding, and it will give the Pistons something to worry about.
Do you think we're the only 2 people that have hope after this game? Like I have reason for hope after that game. Your first game,
they lost game 1, and they did a great job coming back.
First game in, came back, fixed some of the problems they had early on in the game. Never quit. I'll give them that. They never quit last night.
No.
Towards the end.
Well, they never do. I think they play hard enough. Detroit probably played a little harder last night.
I hate to ask this question because I thought this last night. Harden looked old last night. I'm sorry. I mean, he gave you 35 minutes. There's just something about his game, and maybe it's the reality of his age.
I don't think it's his age. I think it's his style.
Yeah, I guess he looked old when he was young too, right?
His style of play might make you think old. You know, maybe walking it up a little bit more than you should.
Yeah.
As he said, and this is what James said, it wasn't what they did to me. He said, I just messed up. You know, most of the turnovers were on me. Wasn't on them, and I'll clean that up. Well, good. We'll have to see that. But I truly think that Evan Mobley and Jared Allen need to just be better than they were yesterday. And with Jarrett getting into the foul trouble, I think it's like an incomplete on that. All I know is that even with the 4 fouls, he could have been a factor in the second half, and he wasn't, and they didn't go to him. And to me, that's like, well, the guy just had 22 and 19. Give the Pistons something to think about, Andy. Give the Pistons something to think about.
He went from like just over 3 turnovers a game. Is that right? 3 per game during the regular season to, oh, no, I'm sorry. It was the first month. Never mind. I'm just looking at his numbers. And I'm trying to.
Whose numbers? James?
Yeah, Harden's turnover ratio per game. 3.5. It ended up being that. His regular season turnover per game was 3.5. He's like 5-something in the playoffs.
He's had 43 turnovers in 8 games.
Yeah.
43 turnovers in 8 games.
It's not good.
Dan's not doing a victory lap only because he's controlling himself.
That's all I'm saying. 43 turnovers in 8 games. That's all I'm saying. And there is no victory lap because I want the Cavs to win. There's no victory lap whatsoever.
I know. That's why I said it.
I don't know. I feel a victory lap coming out of there.
Sam Merrill injured his hamstring last night.
Marching band coming out of there.
If Sam can't go, that shrinks the Cavs bench, and that takes away a real weapon because Sam can change the game with his 3-point shooting.
Do you think it needs to be shrunk, though? I mean, Kenny Atkinson played, 11 guys yesterday?
Yeah, he did.
That is...
You know why you played 11 guys?
Typically not a playoff basketball rotation. It involves 11 guys.
You played 11 because Sam left after 7 minutes.
Okay.
So he's out.
10 is not typically a playoff rotation.
Let me say you played 10. You played 10, perhaps, because you were down by 18, and your team needed to exert extreme energy to get back in the game. So Kenny kept going fresh body.
Did the same thing in the Raptors series, though. He plays a lot of guys.
Which he's done all year.
Correct. But typically in the playoffs, that's not the case. That rotation gets shrunk down to 8.
Typically, but
or 7.
And I've never thought that's a good way to win a basketball game. If your team won in the regular season by playing 9-10 guys, then play 9-10 guys. And who would you sit? You'd play the starting 5. That's Dean Wade included. You'd play Max Strus and Dennis Schroeder.
That's for sure.
That's about it. There's 7. You want to play 8? Jalen Tyson in this series, I think, is going to play a key role because of his length.
Look at what happened to him last night. Just weird, right? He hustles. You know, I love the way he plays. 5 defensive rebounds. Had 5 rebounds in 18 minutes, and he was +9. You want to talk about the plus minus thing? He was +9 when he was on the floor, but didn't score.
Here's the thing.
He only took 1 shot.
Andy, we know this about the NBA. If you're going to be on the floor for 18 minutes, as Jalen was last night, you got to be some kind of an offensive threat. Otherwise, you become a much easier team to defend. As Kenny Atkinson said earlier, they were all over our ball handlers. Why? Because other guys aren't taking shots.
That's
why.
Shot for Jalen Tyson last night.
Well, and none for Sam Merrill in the 7 minutes he was there. And Thomas Bryant took 4 shots. Keon was on the floor for 11 minutes. He took 4 shots. Jared Allen took 4 shots. Dean Wade took 3 shots. You wonder why your ball handlers are getting smothered. It's because nobody else is either A, getting the ball, or B, doing anything with it when they do get the ball. So I think that has to change. Can you count on Max Strus to play his buns off again and hit half of his threes and score 19 points?
No. Can you?
I think you can definitely play his buns off. Score 19, I don't know about that. But see, you also don't expect Dean Wade and Jared Allen to combine for 7 points. I mean, Dean's on the floor for 28 minutes and he can shoot threes. So you got to get him more than 3 shots in the game. 3.
Well, Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell had 45 shots together. Is that right? 45 shots? Yeah.
46.
For Mobley,
Yeah, 45.
Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell.
Well, that's good. You want those guys to get shots.
Yeah.
But and nobody, it's not like Donovan took 28 shots or anything like that. You want Donovan to take 19 shots? Sure. Why
That's
not?
about right.
But-
Maybe
but
5 more shots, maybe 25 shots?
The point of it is, it's real clear that the Pistons weren't really concerned with anybody other than the 3 guys you just mentioned and Max Strus. So anybody else who was out on the floor really didn't contribute a whole heck of a lot offensively in the game. You could make the argument that Schroeder did.
So is that JB?
But Dennis
is that
was
JB
only
knowing the other team?
No. I what I think it is JB coaching a team that stresses defense. And that's tough. We're going to talk plenty of basketball during the show today. Matt Moore from the Action Network, terrific basketball guy, going to join us at 11:40. And Chris Rose is going to join us at 1 o'clock today. So we'll talk a lot of things with Chris coming up. Next, Andy, I'm going to make you think a little bit.
Oh, yes. Time to think. All of us, let's think.
NFL draft is over.
Yes, it is.
Free agency basically done. There's still guys out there.
Yeah.
We're going to play Would You with the Browns.
Oh.
Would you? Coming up next on Baskin and Phelps.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
After destroying the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ken Carmen Show with Anthony Lima.
Hey, the elephant in the room is going to be if the Cavs are going to win this series, I do think this might have gone unnoticed by some, or they were so mad about Harden that they never wanted to see him again in the Cavs uniform. But you're going to need Harden to win this series and to make any kind of a run.
The Ken Carmen Show with Anthony Lima. Weekday mornings starting at 6 a.m. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Welcome back to Baskin and Phelps, everybody. I'm Jeff Phelps. My pals Andy Baskin. Meredith takes your phone calls, 216-474-0092. And Dan Mennigan, the man in charge.
Woohoo. Awesome.
Isn't that about right?
Feeling good.
We'll talk more basketball coming up 11:40. Matt Moore, Action Network's going to join us, so a lot of Cavs talk continuing later on today. I sat there last night, Andy, watching the Cavs and in the afternoon thinking about the Cavs game, but I had an idea pop into my head.
Okay.
And it was this Browns roster, the way it looks right now, after the draft, after most of all the work that's going to be done in free agency. I thought, where is this thing? And should you do a couple of things still? And I thought, I need to pick Andy and Dan's brain about this stuff.
Oh, boy.
Now, I'm assuming that there's something there to pick.
Oh, ouch.
Well, no, am I correct?
About the Browns right now and what the current roster looks like?
No, about your brain.
I don't know. Let me check. Hello.
And Dan's. So I came up with a little thought, and I put something together.
Okay.
And it's called Would You?
Would you?
Okay.
I've heard this game.
No, I don't think you have.
Oh, I think we all have, Jeff. Go ahead.
Unless I, explained it to you during the break.
Okay. Just go forward before we get in trouble here. Keep going.
That's, you can think whatever you want. I'm thinking about sports and content for our show.
Yeah. Going through that big red machine, just thinking about them. Keep
really?
Going. Yeah.
So, I put together some questions.
You smile all you want. I'm not getting yanked in that meeting.
And I want to pick.
I didn't say
that
anything.
Is your
I just
meeting.
said.
And I want to pick your brains.
That is a solo meeting.
You ready?
Say the average teenager or
solo meeting.
Would you?
Every water cooler in America.
You got any fun music? Make this thing even spiffier?
He's looking for Maestro.
we could try. I don't exactly have the creme de la creme. So
little game show music for the tension of the questions would have been nice.
If any of this is too obnoxious, we could at any point go, that's too obnoxious.
All right, go ahead. Hit it.
It's impossible. Hi, time for the latest game show you've never played before. Would ya?
Welcome to the Botanical Gardens. Here you go. Ready? Would you? With the quarterback situation the way it is right now, you got three guys, who are second year or rookie quarterbacks. Anybody going to be the guy? Who knows? Would you trade Dillon Gabriel?
Yes.
Or Shedeur Sanders, along with a late round pick, to the Indianapolis Colts for Anthony Richardson? Would you?
Dillon Gabriel? Easy. Yeah, sure. See you. Bye. He deserves a fresh start somewhere else. Didn't work here. Even though I do believe he's liked by our current head coach.
How can you say it didn't work here when his season was incomplete? Shedeur's season was incomplete.
No, I think it was complete. They decided not to put him back on the field.
Even though his quarterback rating was significantly higher than Shedeur's.
I'm not talking about ratings. They had a chance. Dillon Gabriel could have come back on the field after his concussion. They chose not to.
All right, would you trade Dillon and a late-round pick to the Colts for Anthony Richardson?
Sure, I'll do that.
Would you trade Shedeur?
No, I'm not now.
And a late-round pick for Anthony Richardson?
No, I want to see Shedeur.
Dano?
I have enough projects. It feels like moving deck chairs on the Titanic.
I would trade either one of those guys and a late-round pick to the Colts for Anthony Richardson. Why? Richardson has physical gifts that neither one of those guys happen to have. And the way that this quarterback situation is set up right now is just screaming we're looking for a quarterback in 2027 anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the guy with the highest ceiling, and that's Richardson, and see if I can coach him up this year and make him anything.
Okay, I want to make sure
I would make the trade.
Either one.
Either one.
Gabriel or Sanders.
And a late round pick for Anthony Richardson. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it needs to once again be stated.
When he wants to tap out because he's tired, he's going to go up in the stands and sell beer.
Just a kid.
Oh, just a kid.
Just a kid. Maybe Todd Monken can get something out of him. Maybe he can't. But either way, I still think you're looking for a quarterback in 2027, so it doesn't really matter. Next question.
Okay.
Where's the little disco music?
Okay.
D-D-D.
Would you?
Your children ever looked at you and said, Dad, why are you never happy?
Would you?
How many more miles till we get there?
I'm the happiest guy you know. Would you?
Sitting in that chair.
Make a push to bring Joel Bitonio back? Dano, we'll start with you.
No, because I don't think they're one left guard away from having this offense click. So I'd rather make the investments that I have, play all of the guys that I've brought in for the next 2 years to see if I can rebuild something and see if maybe we could figure out a way to have the Chicago Bears type line where we rebuild it in 1 year.
Andy.
I think this answer has already been made. If he's coming back, they know he's coming back. I just think so. Why? Otherwise, I think he's done. I think he's just done. I don't think he's looking for another team. I think he is, although another team might be coming after him at some point if they need help after the season starts. I think he wants a summer off. I think he wants to chill. I think he wants to, he's earned the right to kind of let his body relax and heal and not have to go through the daily grind of what's going on here in Cleveland. So I think the team knows he's either coming back or not coming back. And why say anything right now? It doesn't make a difference. Let him chill. And then if he wants to come back during camp, come on back. If he doesn't, okay, move forward.
I would make a push to bring him back, but the push would be this. I'm Todd Monken. I'm Andrew Berry. I'm calling him. I'm talking to him. I'm flying to where he is. And I'm just going to sit down and have a meeting with him. Hey, Joel, what do you think? Do you have an interest? Here's what we.
Don't you think they've already had this meeting?
I don't know.
I think they have.
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm going to do this. And I'm going to say, here's what we did on the line. If you come back, that frees up Zion Johnson to maybe move to right guard. And then across the front, we'd have Spencer Fano, Joel Bitonio, Elton Jenkins, Zion Johnson. Tevin Jenkins can be our swing guard. And we'd have Titus Howard at right tackle. That sounds a lot better to me than what they have right now because Joel's so good. So I would check it out. I don't know that you could convince him, and I would just make sure that he knows every door is open, and I'd go have a meeting with him and just see. Lay it out and say, hey, get back to us in a week or two, would you? So there you go.
I think they've had these meetings. I think they know exactly what's going on. If he just wants to rest, he's resting. Maybe he's still a little up in the air, and they'll come back to him one more time and go, you want in or out? That'll be it. I just think that's kind of where we're at this. He's earned that right. He's earned the right. If he wants to come back and take a spot back, he's got it for another year.
Right, but I'd make a push and try and find out. And then you know for sure whether you move on or whatever you're going to do. I would do it. So there's that one. Next question. Would you make a push to bring David Njoku back to this team? And I asked that question for this reason, Andy. You ready?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Caden Prescorn, Brendan Bates, Jack Stoll, Ryan Carson, Joe Royer, Blake Whiteheart. Those are all the other tight ends on the team other than Harold Fannin.
I think Sal Cannell is also on the team still.
Don't know if he is or if he isn't. He might be. If he is, great.
Don't mess with my tight ends, Jeff.
I know.
I think they're in a spot right now. You picked up two tight ends, right? Carson, Brian, and Joe Royer.
Two in the draft.
Yeah, I don't think they're, and it's a lot cheaper to keep those two guys. And if you want, but let them fight it out with Blake Whiteheart. I think they kind of like Blake Whiteheart.
I think they kind of do too.
Harold Fannin's not going anywhere. The fact that they drafted two tight ends means that ship has sailed.
Dano?
I would rather have Joel Bitonio than David Njoku. I'm a no on David Njoku. Let him walk. It's over. Its time is done. The bridge is burnt. Goodbye.
I don't think he burned the bridge because he just sang the praises of Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't.
But
No. He's not the one who burnt the bridge. I don't mean it that way. A bridge can be burned from a different direction, too. When you automatically didn't offer the guy a contract to begin with?
I'm Dan Minigan. I know about burning bridges.
Or maybe the number. Well, what if the
Try
number
very
was
hard not to.
What if the first number was just too high and they're like, yeah, we're out?
Then
I can't. He has not gotten picked up yet.
No.
He was talking about the Chargers last.
Yeah, Chargers are the team that he's chatting with.
He's chatted with the Ravens as well.
He'll end up with somebody.
And it's nothing against him. It's just it's time.
I would not bring back David Njoku. I would not make the push, and I like David. And I say that I listed all those young guys. Out of all of those young guys, don't you think there are one or two guys that you might be able to develop into real contributors?
Yeah, I think the money part
to
of
go
it
along
matters
with
here,
Fannin.
too. Don't you think so? Njoku's going to cost them more.
He's not anymore.
He's still going to cost you more than a rookie.
He's going to cost you more than a rookie.
Yeah.
Yes, but not much more. I mean, he's a veteran who needs a gig right now. But I think the ship has sailed as well. And I would go with the young guys and try and find a couple of guys who might be a better fit in what Todd Monken wants to do, and especially for the price. We're playing Would You with the Cleveland Browns after the draft and after the roster. Would you sign a veteran free agent wide receiver? And we know they went out and drafted two guys. Dan's laughing. Dan, these are things to think about.
This is the Celebrity Jeopardy Potent Potables, where it's every single time. That's certainly what this is.
Would you sign a veteran free agent wide receiver like Juwan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, who was found innocent, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Juju Smith-Schuster, Deebo Samuel? All those guys are still out there.
How many wide receivers do you want to keep? I know I asked you this a million times.
Let me give you my answer first. Yes, I would.
You would sign a veteran wide receiver.
And the reason I would do it is really pretty simple. And it's this. This team right now is loaded with young wide receivers who you think, interesting, because they drafted two guys. I thought Cedric Tillman, interesting. Malachi Corley, interesting. Isaiah Bond, interesting. What I'd like is somebody he's played well. And so I would add a veteran to this group, because right now your veteran is Jerry Jeudy. That's it. Jerry's your main guy. He's it. And I don't know that the veteran would be on the team once the season started. But I'd bring him in for training camp, off-season stuff, see how it works, see how it fits, and give the young guys somebody they can learn with and learn from.
Nope, I'm cool.
Dan says no.
Nope, I'm cool. I want to give all the kids the amount of opportunities that they need to figure out who can sink and who can swim. I would rather be in a position where I'm throwing passes to Isaiah Bond and evaluating him than evaluating any of the guys that you tossed out right there. I'm good.
I think we're missing something here, too. Okay, Judy's in. Boston's in. Concepcion's in.
Isaiah Bond in.
Isaiah Bond is in. That's four guys.
Is Tillman in?
Not necessarily. I would think so.
And they brought Tylan Wallace over from Baltimore, which makes me think that Todd Monken's got to like him, right?
Thought.
I mean, that's
fine.
A Monken thing.
That's fine, but again, it gets back to productivity.
And you got to leave space for Luke Floria, so I don't know.
It's the hardest thing to find.
You don't need much space.
I want Luke on the team. I want Luke to play.
Yeah, we know.
I know.
Colors that end in purple.
We know.
Colors that end in purple. I love
Hot or cold.
I would bring in the veteran free agent. I have two more questions for you. We'll get them next on Baskin and Phelps.
For 42 of the most marketable rookies, Browns first-round pick Casey Concepcion has made the list. Listen to The Fan Rewind, weeknights from 11 p.m. to midnight, all the best segments from all our shows, and you can always listen on the Odyssey app. Headline Sports News every 20 minutes on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Meredith Kane.
Welcome back to Baskin and Phelps, everybody. We're playing Would You with the Browns. We're going to talk tons of Cavs coming up in just a little bit as well.
You know, you can listen to The Fan anytime, anywhere on the free Odyssey app or by telling your smart speaker to just simply play 92.3 The Fan.
Hey, play us.
And now you can find 92.3 The Fan on YouTube, in case you were wondering, including the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima from 6 to 10, our show from 10 to 2, Afternoon Drive with Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin from 2 to 7. That's each and every weekday on 92.3 The Fan's YouTube channel. Subscribe to our channel for free and watch all of the best content from your favorite shows on The Fan, live and on demand now.
Playing Would You with the Browns here. After the draft, after most of free agency is done. Last segment, a couple of questions we threw out. Would you trade Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders and a late-round pick for the Colts' Anthony Richardson? I said yes. I think you guys both said no.
I said no.
Would you make a push to bring back Joel Bitonio? I said yes. You guys said no.
It's not that I said no. I just think this thing, I don't think they have to push. If he wants to come back, it's there. If he doesn't, it's not.
I said, would you make a push to bring back David Njoku? We all said no.
I'm not saying no. I'm being
Well, you did say
intelligent.
no.
Well, then to make a push for him, yeah, it's no. You're not going to. You've got Royer and Ryan now. Why would you? You just drafted 2 tight ends.
Is that a law firm?
Yeah,
Yes.
Royer and Ryan of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Royer, Ryan, and Whiteheart.
I said,
now that's a law firm.
Yeah.
100%
I said,
a law firm.
would you sign a free agent wide receiver? And there's some good ones still out there, like Juwan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Juju Smith-Schuster, Deebo Samuel. I would, only because this wide receiver group, though I like some of the potential, I'd love to have a veteran in that group. Somebody who's been there, done that, can maybe help the guys out a little bit and help the quarterback out a little bit. No guarantee the guy would even make the team, but I would go bring one in. Brings us to our next question. Would you sign a veteran free agent running back
Oh my God, can we fire
for this team?
Okay, I'm good. As I said, we're just trying stuff. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I'm looking. It's something different.
That's fine.
I don't know.
I
It's
mean-
wearing on me a little. Sorry.
I have more obnoxious.
Play
You
it-
want more
play it
obnoxious?
while I ask the question.
Yeah, play it again. Yeah.
Would you sign a veteran free agent running back to add to this crew, like Joe Mixon, who may never play again? You never know. Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, who says he's healthy, Miles Sanders. Would you bring in a veteran free agent running back? Andy.
Yes, I would, because all of those guys I think are a little bit more intriguing than Rocket Sanders, Amani Marshall, David Booth, T.J. Harden. So yes, and you're going to need 3 running backs. So yes, I would.
Dano.
I think I'm good. Yeah. Let me get into camp. If I run into a situation in camp, I can run out and get somebody then. But nobody that you listed to me is any upgrade over what I already have. And if they haven't done it, they must believe that Quinshon Judkins is in a really good place. So I'm good.
there's the hitch here. Is Quinshon good to go?
If they haven't done it, they would know.
And I would bring in a veteran running back now. I would just add somebody. I not overly hyped. You just sign somebody. You don't say he's going to come in and be our starter, because he wouldn't be. If Quinshon is healthy, he's your guy. But do we know for sure that Quinshon's going to be good to go at the start of training camp? And if he's not good to go at the start of training camp, do we know if he's going to be good to go at the start of the regular season?
Nope.
And if not, then is it Dylan Sampson and Rocket Sanders?
Like I said, bring in one of those veterans.
Najee Harris is coming back from a torn Achilles with the Chargers, the former Steeler, who ran for 1,000 yards every year he was in Pittsburgh. He's still available. Eckler healed up. He's an all-purpose guy, great coming out of the backfield. Miles Sanders had the big year in Philly. Might be worth a look. Got hurt in Dallas last year. I don't know about Joe Mixon, but Joe's out there. Didn't play at all in Houston last year. And they went out and traded for David Montgomery, so Joe's not going back there. If he's able to play, I would add a free agent running back. And again, if he didn't make the team, okay. But I'll bet one of these guys would, Andy.
Well, how about Nick Chubb?
Well, that brings us to our final question.
Oh, look at me. I was looking ahead.
Would you bring back Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt?
No.
Tell me why, Dana.
I think they're cooked. It bums me out to say it, especially when it comes to Nick Chubb. I just think they're cooked. Kareem Hunt last year looked horrible. He looked really bad for the Chiefs. He just looked like Father Time had caught up to him. And I think Nick Chubb's injuries have also caught up to him. So unless you want to do something kind and bring him in, fine. But I would not do it. No.
This music has me thinking of Ariana Grande dressed as Cinderella walking through some little forest and talking to squirrels.
Okay, you want me to find something else? We can try something else.
I think he wants to listen to Wicked.
Would you bring back Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt? Everything Mennigan said, I agree with completely.
Is this better?
Just stop the music. We've had enough.
Wow.
Would you bring back Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt? I agree with everything Dan.
None of these were good.
I agree with everything Dan said. I think they're both cooked. I hate to say that. Man, I love watching both of those guys run the football. I think they're both cooked.
Yes, I would bring him back over.
Who? Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt?
Nick Chubb. I would bring Nick Chubb back. He's going to end up with the team this year. He's going to end up. He's not done. Would you rather have him?
He sure looked at last year, Andy.
I'm telling you, I think he ends up with another team. In fact, I was just reading the other day, Dallas might be a possibility for him.
I mean, if you do it at this point, it's sadly nothing more than fan service.
I don't know. Is he better than Raheem Sanders?
No, not now.
Is he better than Amani Marshall?
Well, you're not going to keep 4.
Again.
If Quinshon's hurt and you need another running back, now it's Dylan Sampson and who?
But if that's the case, then the question A in this pair of questions comes into play more, where you would rather probably have Austin Eckler. You'd rather, knowing you're only going to get Austin Eckler.
I would too, Dan.
Knowing you're only going to have Austin Eckler for 10 games, because sadly he gets banged up every year. But, like, there are other guys that you would rather point to before you get to Nick Chubb, unless your whole thing is, all right, let's give the fans a win. Let's give Nick Chubb a standing ovation. Let's do all of those things that this organization
and then cut him
does not do all that much of.
No, they cut Bernie, so.
Well, not this crew.
No, I know. I'd bring Nick Chubb back in that scenario. It's not going to cost you a whole lot. And yeah, simple.
Kareem had a better year last year than Nick.
He looked like he was running through mud.
Yeah, I know, but he had a better year than Nick.
Maybe
he also had more opportunity, though.
True, that is true.
Yeah, more attempts, more carries, all that stuff. I mean, they were running a chunk of that offense through Kareem Hunt because they had nothing else.
So, see, there's still
Although, here's the other problem. Are you going to take carries away from Michael Burton? Because if you're taking away from the fullback, then I'm out.
You know, perfect world, Luke Floria plays fullback.
Oh. No, tight end.
Or long snapper. Or all of the above.
Floria would give it his all.
Or all of the above. So that was it.
Just as My Hero by the Foo Fighters play as he touches the ball in the highlight reel.
Would you? About our Cleveland Browns as they get ready to open rookie minicamp coming up on Friday.
Interesting game of would you?
Did you like that, Andy?
Yeah.
I thought you would. Yeah.
Better than that 3-letter game.
The one thing it does say to me is this.
Right there.
Though the roster is...
That is your meeting.
I think.
What did I say? All I said was a 3-letter game.
Though the roster, I think,
we're not playing right, left, center. That's for darn sure.
Well, significantly improved after the draft. I think there are still some things that will be done.
I've heard it on non-terrestrial radio
before they get to training camp.
Well played.
That was good. I did like that one.
Before they get to training camp.
Toilet paper, beer, and bourbon. You better stock up.
It's true. Those are very good questions, Jeff. I give you credit for that. I'm going to give you some credit.
Well, thanks a lot, Andy.
It's not going to get you anywhere, but I'm going to give you some credit.
I saw something yesterday. our buddy Nick Shook, Kent Stater, NFL.com, around the NFL writer.
Shooky cookie.
You're not going to like this. Ranking the top 15 NFL quarterbacks on rookie contracts in 2026. So guys around the league who are still on their rookie contracts. You know, where's the best value? Who's the best quarterback who's on his rookie contract? I'm going to have to do this quickly. In order, 1 through 15. Ready?
Dan, do we have any list music?
Nope.
It's a list, dude.
There's Ariana Grande again.
Why would you say this is Ariana Grande?
Hello, little squirrel. Drake May, Patriots. Bears, Caleb Williams is number 2.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels of the Commanders, who was hurt last year, number 3.
Yep.
Bo Nix is 4th. C.J. Stroud still on that rookie contract in Houston is 5th. Cam Ward, Tennessee, 6th. Bryce Young, Panthers, 7th.
Okay.
And it came on late last year. Jackson Dart, who, by the way, was given the award for the best male outfit at the Kentucky Derby or something like that. I think the best.
You see him? They showed him before the race.
Yeah, I think the best look he had was the gal on his arm. Jackson Dart was
and
8th.
I'm going to get in trouble?
Well, good. Now there's 2 people in the meeting. Fearless leader, I would like the record to state that I had nothing to do with either of these 2 gentlemen.
His girlfriend is lovely, and she had on a phenomenal outfit.
He wants to play Would Ya?
Jackson Dart, 8th. Tyler Shuck, who came on late last year with the Saints, is 9th.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza, who hasn't taken a snap yet, is 10th.
Oh, man.
Michael Penix is 11th. Aiden O'Connell of the Raiders is 12th, according to Shooky.
Yep.
Quarterbacks who are on their rookie contracts
True or
around
false?
the league.
Aiden O'Connell will be a member of the Browns at some point in his career.
Oh, true.
Hey, fearless leader.
True.
Make sure you have a camera on Andy's head right now. 13th is J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, look at the blood coming out of Andy's ears. And 14th is Shedeur Sanders.
Toilet paper, beer, and bourbon. You better stock up.
1 spot ahead of Ty Simpson of the Rams. So Shooky doesn't think a ton about Shedeur. He said he started nearly half of the Browns games. And then he had a great line. Regardless of what Shedeur's obsessive fan base claims, he wasn't great. But he wasn't terrible either.
There you go.
Says, and Shookie's right about that. I think that's exactly right. He said it's entirely plausible to expect the Browns to roll out a starting lineup that features Deshaun, meaning Sanders spends most of the season as the backup learning from new coach Todd
Did
Monken.
I write this? This looks like something I wrote.
Without the pressure that comes when you both went to Kent State.
So did you.
Playing quarterback for the franchise. He also, tell me what you think of this line.
I'll tell you.
Nick
Go.
Shook wrote it. Also very realistic to expect Sanders to end up carving out a career similar to that of Jacoby Brissett. And he says, which would be excellent for a former 5th-round pick. I agree with that.
You know what Nick said that
Yeah,
I've
I
said
agree with
over and
that.
over again? It'd be nice to get something out of that contract. Yes.
I get it. Matt Moore from the Action Network covers the NBA like crazy. He's going to join us next right here on Baskin and Phelps.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
If I'm the Dallas
list. Want to catch highlights from The Fan from throughout the day? Head over to 923thefan.com or favorite The Fan on the Odyssey app for all of today's headline segments. Headline sports news every 20 minutes on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Meredith Kane.
Game 2, Cavaliers and Pistons tomorrow night in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena. Well, they got that logo plastered all over the top of that thing, don't they? It's a good look. Going to pay for naming rights. By God, there's our logo.
Well, it's a really cool arena. I've seen some neat. I've been up there twice now.
Have you been in there? I've
Yeah.
never been in there.
It's nice. It's nice. The Palace had its kind of niche, and I don't know. I like Little Caesars.
Palace was interesting.
I heard last night late arriving crowd.
Yeah.
So they didn't. The bowl was half empty 10 minutes before the game.
So what?
I'm just saying. This is what I heard.
You don't need to be at the game until the game starts, do you?
Wow. Why are you being so bitter about this?
Well, I'm not being bitter. What difference does it make if you're not there 10 minutes early?
It creates the energy in the building. You've been in buildings before when there's a ton of energy. If it's there, it normally starts a real high energy game. Playoff game in particular, normally it's fans are in their seat 20 minutes before the game, at least 20 minutes before the game. So I just heard, I was talking to somebody who was sitting there last night and she said energy wasn't that great, especially early on. But then again, because they built that big lead.
Yeah, they're up by 18.
And it was hard for anybody to kind of get into it.
Hey, this is great. We're winning
It was
big.
a very noticeable late arriving crowd, 10 minutes before tip off.
A lot of things to do in Detroit.
Half empty or half full, depending on how you look, which is kind of odd. Overall, good, not great noise level by their fans. It was the perfect game to steal. Toronto was much louder and cheering.
And what good did it do them?
Jeff, I am just telling you what the atmosphere was like at last night's game for the folks that were at the game.
That's great.
Unlike us, trying to offer you a little bit of insight.
That's fabulous, Andy. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Matt Moore from the Action Network expected to join us. He's had something come up real quickly, so we hope he can jump on here in the next minute.
Breaking basketball news.
Dan, am I allowed to talk about our guest at noon?
Yes.
Chris Fedor, PlainDealerCleveland.com in Detroit, will join us at noon. We'll get Chris's thoughts on everything that's going on in Game 1 and Game 2 coming up tomorrow night.
I'm okay with it. Look, they just needed to win one game. I thought if they would have won last night, they'd be playing with house money in Game 2. House money was Game 1. Now can they go win Game 2? They need to win a game on the road.
Or Game 5.
I would feel a lot better if they came back here and not have to try to string together, 4 wins in what?
5 games?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, is it?
You got to get this next one.
I would agree with you on that. I've always thought kind of the pivotal game in a playoff series. There are 2 games that I think are the key games. Game 3 is always a biggie.
Yeah.
And because no matter what happened in the first 2 games, let's say you go on the road and you win one. Well, if you give it back in Game 3, then the home court advantage goes back to the team that had it. And if you don't win Game 3 and you lost the first 2 on the road, you're cooked.
You are. We've seen this. I mean, we've seen every scenario. So.
And then I think Game 5 is always a biggie. If you get it to a Game 5.
You don't want to have to win 6 and 7.
No, you don't.
No. But you can't look at it that way. You can only win one game at a time. So
no, you don't.
You
and I are
enough.
I don't know if we're not being critical enough or if we're being realistic. Because you and I both think, they didn't play real well yesterday, and they still had a great chance to win the game.
Is anybody optimistic, a little bit optimistic after yesterday's game?
I just think...
they are the number 1 seed.
I think there's a clear path for the Cavs to win it, Andy. I do.
Yeah, it starts with Game 2, though, Jeff. They have to win Game 2.
No, they don't.
I don't know, man. You come back here, you're down 0-2. Now you get into a close game. How many times have you seen this? You're down 0-2. Game 3 rolls around, and maybe you win Game 3. Now, Game 4, you have either commanding lead at some point, or you have a lead, or you have the opportunity to win the game, but it falters at the end, and then you're cooked. So then you end up going out 4-1.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Did you watch any of the Lakers game last night?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
I thought, boy, if Luka were there, I give the Lakers a lot of credit. You know, I'm not a Laker fan.
No, you're not.
My buddy John Ireland works for the Lakers, and he does a great job on their games. He
True.
does their radio play-by-play.
Yeah, you're not friends anymore because you don't like the Lakers. Is that true?
No, he knows I'm not a Laker fan.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, the Lakers are obnoxious, right? They're obnoxious.
The Lakers themselves, the players are obnoxious?
Nah, the whole franchise. It's obnoxious.
I still have...
I've always thought it was obnoxious.
I can close my eyes and I can hear Joe Tate just destroying the media relations staff there for giving out box scores to the celebrities sitting on the front row before he gave it to visiting radio at halftime.
God bless Joe.
Oh,
I did like the Lakers real early. I loved the Wilt Chamberlain, Happy Hairston, Gail Goodrich, Jerry West teams.
Yeah.
And then I kind of became a non-Laker fan later. And I'm not a Laker fan now, but that's okay. LeBron has done a great job in that series, and so far in the postseason, I should say. And to get them into the second round without Luka, without, for the most part, Austin Reeves, really a credit to the guys who were there and playing for them, especially LeBron. I mean, he's carried him. He's not going to be able to carry him against the Thunder.
I mean, they were hanging. I thought it was. I was listening to something they were saying that I think it's going to be a blowout where Oklahoma City would win in 4 straight, and then last night I thought the Lakers were. I mean, was it 31-26 at the end of the first quarter, and then still they had 61. I don't know, 50 something at the break, and then I was done.
Well,
I was too tired.
The Luka LeBron combo, Andy, in theory, is the type of combo that could lead you to the NBA Finals, even with Oklahoma City out there. Now, I don't think that would happen, but that's the type of combo that could lead you there. And it's a shame for the Lakers that that's not the case right now. Luka's one of those guys that you just think, man, who he's like to me. I'm going to go baseball.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr. It's like, man, this guy is so good. Too bad he keeps getting beat up all the time.
Yeah, I see that.
Because Griff's one of the best baseball players ever. But imagine what his career would have been if he didn't play as hard as he did. Banging into the fences and everything else. Luka just had a body that was not designed to play this game the way he was playing it and hold up. And you could make the argument that though he's in a better condition now than he was when he played for Dallas, still the same kind of thing. I hope his body doesn't betray him and that he's able to really, get back on the court this series, hopefully, and show what he can do. Because he's just an incredible basketball player.
Of the 3 other series other than Cavs Pistons, if someone said you must watch this entire game, which game are you?
Sixers Knicks.
Sixers Knicks?
Yeah. I think that it was terrible game 1. Knicks just destroyed them. And they play tonight, I believe, game 2. And if, again, you know what a Joel Embiid fan I am, despite Jaylen Brown saying that he flops.
Right.
I think Embiid is as big of a force as their top 10 forces in the NBA when he's healthy. Problem is, that guy, it's the same type of thing with Luka, even more so. Embiid, when he came out, would have been the guy that I wanted the Cavs to draft, except I didn't think they were in a position to take the chance on his bad feet. And it's certainly been an issue. When he's on the floor, he's just killer. But he's not on the floor very often.
I think when you look at the playoffs in general, Minnesota is the interesting story to me. I mean,
they're
you come
a
out,
good team, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, it's because for them to get to the finals, they'll have to have gone 3-2-1. They'll have to beat the 3rd seed Nuggets, the 2nd seed Spurs, and I would say 99% chance the number 1 seeded Thunder to get to the NBA Finals. NBA Finals feel like nothing for them when they get there. If you can go, that's a pretty good gauntlet, don't you think? Denver, San Antonio, Oklahoma City to try to get to the finals, and they've got the 1-0 lead on the Spurs right now. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what Minnesota's done here.
Well, they have some talent.
We don't spend a lot of time talking about it, though.
Well, that's because we're in Cleveland and they're in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they're not exactly, one of the more high-profile teams in the league.
No, not at all.
But they do have some ability. There's absolutely no question about that. I just wonder, is there anybody else that you think needs to step up or will step up for the Cavs? I mean, Max Strus was terrific last night. To me, he was the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Sam Merrill done for the series with a hamstring injury? You can't play basketball with a bad hamstring. You just can't do it. So if it's bad, he'll be out. You run down the floor, you jump, boom, there goes your hamstring.
I don't know, I kind of feel like because we saw Schroeder do it in the first round, and last night he gave you a couple big plays down the stretch. I just
love his feistiness.
Yeah, so I just think, just give me a little more. How about 4 for 6 rather than 3 for 6? That gets you in double figures. That helps you out a little bit. That gets the offense moving. A little less pressure, a little less wear and tear on Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell. Although those guys, I think, especially Harden and Mitchell, there's a shot they've never seen a shot they don't really like.
You think?
Between that and trying to force the ball through the paint, it's where all the turnovers seem to be, right? It's all trying to force the ball through the paint. It's all like, it's like they make this.
Well, Harden lost a bunch of them just out top on his own.
Yeah, it's like they decide that, okay, I'm going to take it to the hole, right? I'm going to take it to the hole, and this is what I'm going to do. And then they get inside the paint, and they're like, oh, I don't really know where I'm going. And then I throw a teardrop in, or I'll bank it off the glass or something. And you're like, oh, man, we got lucky on that one. That happens all the time.
Matt Moore is going to join us tomorrow. He had work come up, so he's going to join us tomorrow. Next, Chris Fedor, PlainDealerCleveland.com, covers the Cavs. He's in Detroit. Game 2 tomorrow. Fedor's thoughts on Game 1 and what's ahead. Next on Baskin and Phelps.
Get the best content from our shows each and every weekday. That's 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Headline sports news every 20 minutes on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Meredith Kane.
The only place to get ready for the NBA playoffs. Weekday mornings in the CLE. The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima. Weekday mornings starting at 6 a.m. Cleveland's Sports Radio. 92.3 The Fan.
Game 1 was not what you were hoping for if you're looking for a Cavs win. Will Game 2 bring one our way? I'm Jeff Phelps, my buddies Andy Baskin, Mennigan, Meredith, and our buddy who joins us right now on the Wise Heart Right. We make it right. Call Kyle Wright hotline from the Plain Dealer in Cleveland.com. He's in Detroit. He's covering the series. He's having fun, I hope. He's Mr. Chris Fedor. Hello, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
We're talking a little Cavs basketball today. Andy and I aren't terribly disappointed.
Oh,
and
no,
we
I'm disappointed they lost.
We both have a little optimism about even with what we saw yesterday. For me, it's because, couldn't go much worse early on, and yet you're tied with 5-something to go. You fought back. And I thought Detroit's offense looked susceptible. What's the feeling in your gut after Game 1?
Well, it's hard because you talk about Game 1 and then you also talk about the Toronto series. So you're trying to talk about the Cavs from an entire playoff standpoint, right? And understand that every single matchup calls for something different. Every series takes on a life of its own. But these Cavs have played 8 playoff games, and they haven't been good. They just haven't looked like the team from the regular season. They haven't looked like a legitimate title contender. They haven't looked like a team that is capable of winning the Eastern Conference crown. So it's hard for me to separate what I saw from Toronto and just focus solely on Game 1. But for Game 1, I do kind of understand where you're coming from. It was a tie game, 5 minutes to go in the game, then they were outscored 18-8. So do you look at that and you say, well, despite all the things that they did poorly, they were right there? Or do you say, if you have James Harden, if you have Donovan Mitchell, if you have Evan Mobley, you're paying those guys to come through in those situations. And then you can also look at it and say, well, despite the fact that they committed 20 turnovers that fueled Detroit getting 31 points of offense that kind of way, and Detroit's a limited offensive team, and there's no way that they're going to be able to replicate that production, despite those kinds of things, once again, the Cavs were right there. Or do you say turnovers are a problem for this team because the styles that these teams that they're playing are bothering their offense? And I think it's hard to completely separate. And I think at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can say that the Cavs turnovers, 20 of them in a game, maybe a little bit of an outlier, but they're one of the worst turnover teams in the playoffs so far. There's only one team with more turnovers than the Cavs, and it's the Los Angeles Lakers. So at some point, I think they're just showing too many flaws to give them the benefit of the doubt and come away from these losses feeling optimistic of all these different changes that they can make. Because we're having the same conversation here in Game 1 that we had for the duration of the Toronto series. Physicality, not coming through in clutch situations, not taking care of the basketball, not defending enough at a high enough level, and then most importantly, James and Donovan, their two most important players, just not being good enough.
Can they correct the turnover problem? Is this? I mean, we sit here every day. We say, well, it's fixable. They just need to pay attention to detail. They're a professional team. We say this over and over again. But seriously, do you think they can fix 20 turnovers a night?
Why would I possibly say yes? That's how I would answer it, guys. Why would I say yes? They haven't shown signs that they can. I think what we have seen is that there is a certain style of defense that bothers this team, that takes this offense out of its rhythm, that makes these guys in particular uncomfortable. And they're playing against one of those kinds of defenses right now. And they played against one of those kinds of defenses in the first series against Toronto. I think it's absolutely perplexing that the Cavs continue to talk about bad games being outliers for them in the playoffs during this run. How many different times has Donovan gone up there, Kenny Atkinson gone up there, James Harden, Jared Allen, whoever is at the podium or in the locker room? They have said something along the lines of, we just played bad, and we were right there. We just played bad, and we had an opportunity. We just played bad, and we threw the game away. They didn't say that specifically, but generally that has been the commentary coming out of the locker room. Look, if playing bad was an outlier, that would be one thing. But them playing bad through 8 games of this playoff run has become the norm for them. They aren't the Oklahoma City Thunder. They aren't the New York Knicks. If the New York Knicks have a bad game, they can go up there and say, well, we just played bad. We just had an off night. And then you could look at it and you could say, you're right. That was an outlier for you guys because you've been great the rest